Hi, welcome back to Velocette Motorcycle Workshop episode 5. So in this episode I'll be installing the clutch on the KNS. We got as far, I think it was episode 2, because I've deviated a few episodes, but yeah, I think it's episode 2, installing the clutch thrust bearing in here. That little thing there, I think I was putting it in over the top, and it's not meant to be like that. It's meant to go inside the gearbox casing behind this frying pan thing to act as like a bit of a pivot point. So yeah, I had that around the wrong way. I think I don't know, I suppose I knew I wasn't fully assembling it at that time or something. So yeah, anyway, you might be able to do it in the rain, but that's why I'm in it, so let's get on with it. Okay, so here's my clutch. This is the original clutch from this bike. You can see I've got the cable ties around here, like I did on the KTT clutch video. But on that video I took everything off, I didn't put it back on. So this one actually shows you the missing bits in a way. Now, again, I'll try and bring it a bit closer, there we go. So these 3 pins sticking out here, the thrust pins, one really useful thing about me doing the KTT clutch is that I realised that these pins in here are actually too long. Well, that's what I figure. So I ordered from the club some new ones, these little ones here, but you might be able to see, probably isn't going to come out, but anyway, they're labelled up as C8/2. That's an error on their part because I ordered C6/2, which is correct for this clutch, and I believe these are the correct parts, but I think there's just a bit of an error marking them up. So that's the first job. I shall just take these longer ones out and then you're going to be able to see the difference. So there you have it. That's about the difference. It's quite a lot, so it worries me a little bit that, yeah, no, that's interesting. That's just fallen. Anyway, I'm going to go with the short ones, even though that's just fallen right through, but I think that's probably the thing isn't screwed in enough. Alright, so now we're going to slide this on to the output shaft. Now, although I said this is the original clutch to this bike, which it is, that gearbox is not the original clutch to the bike. I made a massive error in trying to remove a bearing. Just trying to think which side of the thing it is now. I think it's in behind here, yeah. I was trying to drive it into the box, it needs to be driven out. I just didn't realise, you know, whatever. So this is actually really tight on this output shaft, and I think it would have been probably smooth and silky on the original gearbox, but you know, I can't change anything there. So. Actually, that was pretty good, pretty easy. This bit here that you adjust when you're trying to adjust the clutch is not rotating at all at the moment. I'm not really sure why. Yeah, hopefully it's not cross-threaded. I guess it's just a tight thread on this particular one. So that might cause me some problems when I'm trying to do everything up. And it's out a long way at the moment. Like I say, I think that's why these 3 little pins went in too deep. So the next thing I need to do is try and select top gear on this gear, which is only 3rd. I'm going to go away and just check probably the little thing on the tank that will show me which way the hand change lever goes. Not sure it makes a difference, but people always say you've got to have it in top gear when you start putting the next bit in with all these little springs and stuff, so let's go and do that. So I've selected top gear 3rd on this bike. That's apparently what I need to do for when I want to, like I say, do up the next nut on here. So next I've got to install these little springs. I'm hoping you might be able to see how they're slightly bent. Previous owner only had 1 of these. You need 2 and grease in between. Just try and stop the nut crunching these and bending them over. So we get on and install these. I'm just going to use some regular cheap old grease. They don't really need greasing, but one, it hold them in their little sockets, and two, I actually clean these in my ultrasonic cleaner just because I want to use it again. And then the water residues left a tiny bit of rust on them, so we'll grease them up a little bit. Alright, all those little tiny springs are in there now. Always can't believe this clutch operates on these tiny little springs, it's crazy. Anyway, so next bit, this one. Really nasty condition, this. Anyway, so that's there. These two bits, like I said, they're going to come on and go over there. I'm just going to grease the hell out of all of this, and then we start to try and thread it on. Right, next you want this tool from the Owners Club, really. She's a beauty, so that'll be on there. So this is mostly threaded in now, this bit in here. Just going to try and do the final tightening up. So I got that, and I got that, the Owners Club tool. But I'll probably be ending up using this bad boy big breaker bar. Might seem a bit extreme, and everything I do on this bike probably seems ultra crude, but I like to think that back in the day a young rider would have probably ended up doing stuff similar to myself rather than in a fancy workshop where everything's pucker. So anyway, so I've got an old piece of chain. Didn't want to stretch the brand new chain that will be going on this primary. I've got my bit of sort of hard plastic to wedge up in between the sprocket and the chain, and then I just want to try and tighten. Oh yeah, I've got these mold grips holding the chain together as well, and I just want to try and get this as tight as I literally can, because I have had this come undone on the KTT when I messed up and smashed the gearbox when I was going for the rear brake, because obviously I was thinking about a Japanese bike, I guess. So yeah. Right, that's rather tight. Right, we're going to go for my big old bar. Let's see what happens with this. Okay, that might be a little bit over the top, so anyway, we got that done. I think that's sufficiently tight now. Can't remember the part number or what that's called. That thing that holds all the little tiny springs. So I'm going to go ahead and install my front sprocket. Now, it's not in the best of conditions, this one, but when I last checked, you see, like, I don't know if you can be able to see it, there's a little bit here which looks like it's been brazed or something, like sort of brassy looking colour. So God knows, maybe even one of the teeth came off. But anyway, when I last checked, they weren't available in the Owners Club. They might be available now. As you can see, there's a cross here, cruciform I think it's called. That's going to locate on these 4 bits here. I mean, that is quite obvious. So I'm going to push that on. I have put a little bit of grease on there, not a lot. So Yeah, it'll be fine. Right, now I need to put this on. I just need to check how far in and out this is going, because I need to pack it really with washers so that I can get my castle nut to get the split pin in the right location. Right, so that's actually not even holding the thing yet. So it's running out of thread before it even grabs, so that tells me how much washers I need. Okay, so I've tried a few combinations to try and get the position where I can crank it up sort of tight, but also be able to get the split pin in. Obviously, depending on how thick your washers are, this changes how much that spins on. So I've got a really dodgy old spring washer. Don't know, good, probably not really springy. Modern stainless steel washer, they just happen to be kind of working okay. They're going on. Now we spin the castle nut on. And I'll just crank it round. Just need to check my split pin will go in there. You always get these different split pins, all different lengths, different sizes, and this nice little Golden Virginia tin came with my KTT, and again it's going to be a little bit difficult to show you, but I've got loads of different sizes in there, all different sizes of split pins. I'm using one of them, but I actually don't like using these spares that came with the KTT because they're all authentic, you know, probably 60, 70 years old, could be even 80-year-old. But anyway, I don't have another split pin, and this one's perfect size. So I'm going to drop it in with the like bobbly end sitting down. You can do it that way and then splay the things out, but I'm going to do it this way. And then I'm just going to push them over, just going to tap them over. That shouldn't come undone now. I mean, it's not mega tight. I could have done with doing more and more spacer checks to check that I can get it even tighter before I get the split pin in. But there's only one hole in this for a split pin. Sometimes you get multiple holes, makes it a bit easier. So anyway, it'll be alright, I'm sure. So we're still in gear there. Cool. So I think next I'll be putting on the primary chain, the actual real one, not this one for with the chain then. So it's in this instance Regina Extra 9200, I think that's a 1R, 74 plus the link, standard KSS Mark 1. It's got 74 here as well, so I think it's 74 links on this chain for your primary chain. Double check that. Obviously I didn't find this information that easy, but this was sourced from a well-known chap within the Velocette community, Martin Arscott. I don't know if he's still trading, to be honest, but he used to have a lot of spares and original parts and stuff. He also gave me the piston for this bike, an original one. Right, so this has been in storage for all these years that I haven't got this bike sorted out, but this chain out of the box wasn't in a wrapper, but it's got a really sticky sort of chain oil to it, so that's kind of good, I guess. I'll pop the link in. I've adjusted this gearbox all the way forward at the moment. Alright, not that it matters, but I'll put the Regina made in Italy facing out. Now this little split link thing, I can't really call it really, but this closed end wants to be going in the direction of the travel. Okay. There we go, it's on there. Now, to adjust the gearbox back, you've got these two big bolts on the top here, which the gearbox is mounted to the frame on. This little spanner here says 3/16 Whitworth or 1/4" BSF, but I can't show you unless I move the camera. But under here, you've got a little thing that adjusts it. Now I'll adjust that and get that corrected once 1/2 inch of play total travel, and then you have to redo that adjuster bit back in the direction. I'll check in the red book, so just check in the red book, but it tells you which way to do it, so that I guess there's no chance of the rear chain with so much force pulling this gearbox backwards, I guess, and then making this super tight. So yeah, just check that one out. Okay, so that's the bit there that I'm on about for adjusting the bit that my pick is on. That's one good part that the engineer I employed made to a drawing from Peter Miles. So that's a good useful part that I was missing, and you use that to adjust the gearbox. Alright, that's it then for this video. Any comments, or if you want to be interactive, questions, comments, leave them in the comments below the video, and any likes or subscribes, greatly appreciated.